I know you want and need more abundance in your life. And this next 20-minute segment is served up hot and fresh at 450 degrees, ready for you, as Britnie and I dive into how we're giving everyone who listens more abundance.
We are incredibly inspired right now. We are just coming off the heels of the Abundance Summit, which was amazingly powerful. It was so cool. And I'm constantly amazed because a summit is about aligning the wealth and resources needed to accomplish this long-term vision of your life, what you really need in order to walk that out, and having more than enough so that you don't just pay for your own bills, but you can actually provide for the needs of the world. And so a lot of this is about breaking the limitations that your limiting beliefs are, your mindset blocks, what's keeping you back from identifying the things that have to go in order for you to even accept the abundance that's all around you. But the coolest thing to me was watching how much healing took place in people's lives, like relationships, with their body, with their time, with their energy. It was just person after person was talking about not just new insights so I can make more money, but the healing that took place inside themselves to be able to even operate at that next level. And so I wanted to hear from you. Not everybody's able to attend this summit. What were some of your top takeaways from the event? And also, why do you choose to be my co-host every year?
Well, the co-host is easy. It's really, really hard to say yes to a private island experience and 5-star Forbes #1 best resort in the Caribbean.
#1 wellness.
It's an easy yes, and I love the topic. And here was one of my biggest takeaways was many people, you saw this, they had this dream that they could never get. There's no way I could ever have this. It's too big, it's too much, it's too huge. And then once they said, wait a minute, how much does that dream actually cost?
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, your dreams cost less than you think they do.
They really do. Say that again.
All good. Ladies and gentlemen, your dreams cost less than you think they do. Most individuals haven't taken the time to go, what is my dream exactly? And how much does it cost per month?
Actually cost.
Per week, per day, however long you're going to be involving in that dream. And then we had 3 or 4. There was actually a lot of couples at this one too, which made me all happy.
Yeah.
A lot of couples. We had one couple of 56 years.
It's so good to see people growing together.
56 years of marriage.
Not apart. Yes.
Yeah. So we had tons of couples there. That was really, really cool. 5 married couples. Anyway, it was a lot. Yeah. And so they're growing together. But one of the things that I noticed that really stood out is a lot of people also realized that they could have a dream and then that dream would be done and then they can move on to other ones. That was a big takeaway. So for example, let's say someone has a dream house and they're like, okay, cool. I have a dream house. There's no way I could ever afford it. It's way too much. Okay. Well, how do you know? Like, have you blueprinted it out? Have you architected out? How much does the house actually cost?
Right.
Like get the numbers and figure it out. Okay, whatever. It costs $3 million. Got it. So now that you live in the house at some point, once you live in this dream house, all your dreams are gone. You have no other dreams. Can't come up with anything else.
Right.
Now you're toast.
That was it.
Yeah. So many of the couples, they realize, wait a minute, I can have a dream. I can live in it, still be in that dream, and then still have more come my way.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part.
Ooh, I love that.
I really loved it.
I love that. I love that people were willing to try new things. You know, we had some older, like 2 older gentlemen there that were like, this was my first time doing mindful stretching. This was my first time riding a horse. This is my first time eating this way. It's my first time doing a Green Beret workout in the mud.
Yeah.
This is the first time being called a maggot. And I loved it. And it's really important to keep trying things. You know, I like to joke that I'm good at only 2 things, but I still try other things.
Sure.
And it makes me even better at those 2 things.
Sure.
It widens my scope, but try new things. You're never done learning. And when you stop saying the word, I'm a perfectionist, because it's honestly really weird and ridiculous to say that, but to start saying there is no such thing as perfection. I am a person that's ever growing, ever learning, and always know that I can be better, not for failure's sake, but to just aspire to excellence, because the best me is the best giver. And watching people try new things and see what it does for their businesses, what it does to their leadership, what it does to their relationships is so beautiful. But the most beautiful thing that takes place at these events is we had somebody who is into church planting in Romania talking to and having meaningful, deep conversations with a medium, a person who came whose business is a medium. And it's unreal to me that they can, instead of focusing on their differences, they focus on the things that bring them together. And there was a group that came on island a couple months ago, and their whole movement is called Gracism. And their book is called God's Response to Racism, is again trying to find where are we more alike than we're different, versus letting those differences create barriers between us, because God is love and love is all things connecting. And so instead of judging each other and trying to change them, we're finding out what's that beautiful universe wrapped in skin right in front of me, and how can I enjoy them, because there's so many people from all over the world that would never learn to love each other in any other setting because they just wouldn't have crossed paths, that leave the island as best friends.
Yeah. Like me and Rob Wallace.
So fun.
Me and Rob are never meeting if it's not for you.
Yeah.
And we're never being best friends if it's not for you.
Oh, I love that.
Right? Because we just don't meet.
Right.
So talk about loyalty.
Well, that's one of those fun things about real estate investing for those listening to this that want to create these immersive experiences or spaces for connection. You can be intentional in the way in which you lay out your floor plans, to having your meeting spaces, to your activities, to your, like, there's an intentionality that goes with creating a space that can forge these kinds of connections and break down these kinds of barriers. So for those who are creating these spaces, start studying what it takes to do that, and go experience them yourself. Ask better questions. It's really powerful.
We say experience them and ask better questions. You mean go find places that are already in existence. Yeah. It's already been done, fun fact. Someone's already done it. And then ask how much, why, when, where'd you get it from, who built it, how long did it take to install? These are some questions you
and how can ask. I do it better?
Yeah.
It can, may somebody else that's ever done it before you, may their ceiling be your floor. And if you can find ways to get in front of those people and ask them questions, it's not about stealing or mooching. It's about expansion. And so I just have a mind, I guess, I think it's either because I was homeschooled or I didn't go to college, but there's something inside me that says, I don't know most things. Therefore, find other greatness and ask them. Yeah. And that's a humility that's opened up a lot of doors for me. It's an authentic humility inside me that says, I don't know the best way. I absolutely don't know the best way. So let's come up with it together. And I think that's a different leadership style that a lot of people aren't used to. They're just used to being told what to do.
Have you ever taken an IQ test?
No, I actually haven't.
I think me and you probably have the exact same IQ.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, because I do the
high.
Massive. 106, maybe 105. It's like, I am the same way.
Yeah.
I know I don't know.
I have no idea.
I know two things. Which karaoke song I'm not good at. And liquid market trading, right? That's it. And so when you're starting to approach from the perspective of, I'm not sure. I'm positive there's someone better than me. Let me ask the questions, because that is a life hack right there. Is you and I get asked the questions that far too often aren't the best ones. They're too quick. It's like, why'd you start that? It's like, that's not the greatest. It could have been a better question there. Like, if you're going to ask a question to someone that you really, really want the answer to, make it something so profound that we might even remember that person because the question was so good.
I'll give you an example of that. I had a famous person that I was dying to meet. And before meeting him, I read every single one of his books.
Bon Jovi?
listen to all his podcasts. And when given the opportunity, instead of asking something like, why'd you name your company this, which is like the easiest Google in the world, I got to ask something that in the book, in the story, was so deep and so profound that I took notes. What are my questions when I meet this person? I showed up prepared, and I definitely stood out, and now have that person's phone number and a relationship, and it's super important.
Just do some research, figure it out. I think that's an aspect of abundance, since we're talking about it here, right? That aspect of this person. People reach out to me way too often thinking I'm so busy. Right. They just automatically put that label on me.
They say the same thing to me.
Right. Like, I know you're the busiest person in the world, but I'm like, I never said that.
Yeah. Invite us to more parties.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll probably show up.
Yeah. You can at least ask. Right. If we have the capability, give us 3 or 4 months notice, please. But if we have the
be
ability,
reasonable.
Yeah. Be reasonable. Give us a quarter of a year notice, please.
You can still try.
Yes. Ask. But the truth is, the abundance part is this person truly believes and so much love and grace and happiness and prosperity and joy in the world that they want to bestow this information to me, right? That's an abundance mindset versus if I ask this person, they're going to think that I'm trying to steal. And this is the important part, because you will only see in someone else what you see in yourself. So if you are feeling like, oh, they're only going to think that I'm asking this because they think I'm going to steal it, that's probably because that's what you're doing, right? Like, that's the mindset. That's the energy that you're going in on it with. If you're going in it with, you did so amazing, I'm so incredible, I'm really inspired by this. What exact reason did you choose this? And what was a particular thought behind doing this? And let's take it back to me and you. Very first time we started talking, the questions I was asking is, why weren't you in a spot where you were putting out your voice and your story to the whole world so that everyone can see who is Britnie Turner and why are you really here to make this type of impact?
That's very kind of you.
And you said it's because no one really asked the right questions to you. And I was like, well, fun fact, with my 103 IQ, let me ask you a bunch of questions. And here we are, best friends, Biffles.
Biffles. We need a ring. A Biffles friendship ring.
Yeah, for sure.
Mood ring.
Mood ring.
Obviously.
Yep. Lip tattoo, a new lip tattoo maybe.
Another one. I got 2 lips. I only got a tattoo on one. That's a real question though. How many tattoos have you?
That was the best comment in all 5 seasons.
How many tattoos have you gotten since last episode?
Since last
last season.
Yeah, since last season.
Let me ask it again. How many tattoos have you gotten, Jeremy Newsom, since last season?
Since only 2.
Only 2.
I got the 144.6 on my foot.
Hey.
Yeah. That's the Ironman distance at Chattanooga. That extra 4 miles counts. So 140.6 is the general full distance triathlon. But Chattanooga, they add an extra 4 miles on the bike. So I know. So instead of 112, it's 116 miles on the bike.
Dang.
So I didn't let them take that away from me. And then I got the one on my arm. So my wife has this exact freckle pattern on her body.
Aw.
Yeah. And so she's just the starlight of my life. I know, it's super cheesy.
Oh, y'all are cute.
But I was like, we were in Santa Fe, and 2 big things happened to us last year too, since I'll just slide it in here, talking about abundance. When we went on the Money Grows on Trees Croatia trip, and we were there, we were working on our dreams.
Heard it was awesome.
So fun. And we're there, and we're so energized and happy and around amazing people. We're like, what do we want for this quarter? So we came up with a quarter goal. What do we want for this quarter that we've never had experienced ever before in our lives? And we both really, really dreamt and wanted to be on a huge stage of impact and growth, right? And she got to go to an event with one of our masterminds with Michael Beckwith.
Yay.
One of her big spiritual mentors. Like, never thought ever that they'd share the same stage.
It's awesome.
They shared the same stage for a whole week in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And while I was there, I'm like, this is what a perfect moment to get a tattoo of my wife. Because I was just so proud of her. It was such a big deal. So I got a tattoo there by a world famous tattoo artist, fun fact, who travels the world. And she just pops into different tattoo places.
No way.
Yeah. Seriously, she just can pop in whenever she wants, and then they will let her be. Yeah, who knew?
That's cool.
Like a traveling nurse, except not at all.
That's interesting. Same.
A famous traveling tattoo artist tattooed my arm.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
That's really cool. And now her face is next, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna get her all of her
face,
a little miniature body, and then
her feet.
Right.
Both of her feet
on the back. Instead of angel wings, I'm gonna get my
neck.
wife's feet
On your neck. Somebody's done that.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
I need to look this up
100%.
on the internet. This is a solid Google.
Yeah. And then that was my wife. She got the speaking opportunity. And then a couple of weeks after that, I got to speak at El Paso. Shout out to my boy, Preston, put me on stage at Elevate El Paso.
Oh, man.
Got to have a really, really just rock star presentation there. Killed it. Was feeling abundance so much. And then we capped it with, I tell everyone, and I don't know if you know this, I tell everyone abundance is my keynote presentation for the year.
Oh, yay.
The apex, the pinnacle, that if you knew someone pure fire,
yeah,
you got to come to abundance.
Well, it's not just hearing you speak. You know, the speakers stay there for the whole week. They don't just pump in and out because they're here to sell some books.
You can play and lose volleyball with me.
You can lose volleyball to me. You know, you can come lose volleyball to me.
Yeah.
Unless you're on the same team, obviously.
Right.
You can come lose cash flow to me.
Yeah.
You can
limbo for sure.
You lose limbo.
You're gonna lose
I only
karaoke.
have things on the island that I'm good at.
It's okay.
Obviously.
Yeah, no.
I'm not having basketball. Nope. Sorry.
I don't play basketball well, so no basketball.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
When it's your island, you get to pick, which is fun. But no, it is. I think the biggest thing that changed my life was being in the room.
Yes.
With people who were where I wanted to be in one specific area of my life. Because humans aren't perfect.
No.
But if somebody has the relationship that you want, or the spirituality that you want, or the wealth that you want, or the influence that you want, find a way to get in proximity to them. And a couple cool things happen if you have the right level of maturity. And you're going to realize they are humans and they are imperfect and they also poop just like you do.
They do. Everyone poops.
And they're insecure just like you do. And they have
usually.
failures just like you probably have. And with those realizations, then you stop knocking yourself out of the game.
Right.
You start understanding this is a human experience where we're meant to fall down and get back up. And don't crucify yourself. Don't give in to all these terrible words or thoughts. You've got to be someone who believes in yourself first. It's really dangerous when you lose believing in yourself because you keep a really negative record on in the background of your mind. And so one of the things that we got to do this year was identify those poisonous thoughts that we have control over, that we think about every day. And we can see them, we're aware of them, and then ask ourselves, do these thoughts still serve us? Thoughts like, you'll never be enough. No one will ever love you. You'll always be a failure. Things like that unless you stop and ask yourself, what are those negative thoughts? You might not even notice them. Once you do notice them, awareness is the key. You can say, is this going to help me in my future? Is this going to help me be a blessing? Is this going to help me be a force for good? And if they are not, then you got to vote them off the island of your life. Mm-hmm. And when you vote something off, you have to actually replace them with a positive thought. If not, there's going to be an empty void there with more anxiety-sponsored negative thoughts, depression-sponsored negative thoughts. Remember, this it helps nobody for you to stay small. It really serves no one. And so beating yourself up all the time, hiding from the world and labeling it humility, wake up, realize your potential. And we should talk about that a little more in our next episode.
I'm ready. If you're a man and you're listening to this podcast and you really enjoy the information that Britnie and I share about healing, about transforming, about growth, about inner awareness, I have a really awesome men's mastermind workshop where I spend time teaching and going through a few different things. Number one, how to heal. Number two, how to be a better dad. Number three, how to be a better husband. And then number four, how to make more money. Duh. So yes, it's an incredible program and I would love for you to go to broketowoke.com and check out the next time I'm hosting this really transformative, truly incredible, and I promise, extremely powerful and soul-shifting program that will help you heal your past traumas, heal your scars, and put you in a place where you find your purpose, you get accelerated, and you love life more. Because at the end of the day, it's really what it's about. Hop over to broketowoke.com to check out more on my mastermind for men.